What's the correct way to meet a dog that doesn't know you? Hi, I'm Rich with Off Grid Dogs Training and Behavior, Tampa, Florida, and I'm crazy about you because you love your dog. Well, the best way to meet a dog is to not meet the dog. Cesar Milan, he had a TV show, you might have heard of him, used to say, no touch, no talk, no eye contact. And he was right about that, among other things. So in 1980, I was a college student, and I got hired a summer job to sell encyclopedias door to door. So all my customers were young families with children, and they all had dogs. And I had a big problem because none of these people, most of them anyway, couldn't control their dog. So me being a stranger who just knocked on the door and came in to sell encyclopedias, and I'd have posters all over the living room showing all this educational material. And, the dog would be going nuts, running all over couldn't do a sales presentation, couldn't make a sale because of the dog. So necessity is the mother of invention. And I somehow figured out how to control the other people's dog that I didn't even know, that I just met. And the way I did that was by ignoring him. So when I would walk into the home and the dog would run up to meet me and maybe even jump on me, I wouldn't even look at the dog. I would look at the people, talk to the people, completely ignore the dog. Completely neutral, calm energy. The dog, and I didn't really even understand why it was working, but I just knew that I needed to sell encyclopedias for my summer job, so I needed this dog to behave. And what would happen, the dog would take a look at me and go, wow, oh, this is different. An alpha, I can relax now. And the dog would go over and sit down in the corner and behave for the first time in his life. These people who owned the dog for 5 years had zero control over the dog, and yet somehow I was able to come into their house, a total stranger, didn't know I was coming, just knocked on their door randomly to sell books. And within 5 minutes, the dog was totally under control, and I could do my hour-and-a-half encyclopedia presentation and walk out later on, an hour and a half later with a sale. So I did this over and over again. I actually sold encyclopedias for several years. So I refined this and learned that it worked very well. Why does it work? Now I understand why it works. Back then I didn't really know the reason. An alpha, a pack leader, does not look at the pack. The pack looks at him. All you have to do is observe dogs. If you observe dogs, a wolf pack, any type of a situation where dogs are in a group, you'll see their behavior. And the leader just goes. He leads, or she leads. He just walks. He doesn't look back to see if the dogs are coming with him. They just follow. So they won't take their eyes off of him, but he completely ignores them. He's got calm, confident energy. He's not angry or hollering or screaming. It's really just as simple as what Cesar used to say: no touch, no talk, no eye contact. So the correct way to meet a dog is to not meet the dog. In other words, when I'm out with my big 140-pound fluffy white Great Pyrenees with a sweet face, every human being wants to pet him. And by the way, for 6 years, I've taken him with me every day. We go out to lunch or breakfast on a patio in one of several local restaurants every day. And so thousands of people literally try to pet my dog. 99.9% don't know how. And these are people who've owned dogs their whole lives. They're dog lovers. They think that they're dog experts, and they have no idea how to meet a dog that doesn't know that. And notice how I say that. I don't say a dog that they don't know, and I don't say a strange dog. I say a dog that doesn't know them, because I look at it from the dog's point of view, because that's what's important here. Dogs are social creatures, but they're pack animals, so it's not natural for them to meet other people, other dogs, anybody outside of their pack is not a normal social situation. The way you do it respectfully from a dog's point of view is the same way they would meet, which is they don't come rolling up face to face, which is like all these humans do. All these dog lovers that roll up on my dog, they do everything wrong. They've got their hand out like this, like the dog can't smell them from 75 feet away. They need to stick their wrist in his face, which is a threatening gesture. They're leaning over the dog. They're looming over the dog, which is an aggressive, threatening gesture. They're staring at the dog. They're looking at him eye to eye, which is also aggressive. Dogs meet nose to tail. A friendly dog meeting, they don't come straight on, because that will, start a fight. So dogs that are socialized, that know how to meet other dogs, don't do that. They come in from the side. So when you're meeting a dog that you don't know, first of all, you don't need to get in his space. You don't need to get within 2 or 3 feet of him. You need to stay a couple of steps away. You need to come not directly, but come from the side. If you're showing him your side, he's not threatened by you, because you're not acting predatory, like you're going to attack. The worst thing people do, they all do it, is the high-pitched voice. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, can I pet your dog? They know, dogs aren't stupid. They know you're talking about them. You see the tail start wagging, or the body start wiggling, they get stimulated. So the non-dog expert thinks that the dog is happy to see this stranger. No, the dog's not happy. The dog is no longer calm. He was sitting there perfectly calm and happy before the stranger rolled up. Now the dog is anxious or stressed. He's stimulated. It's not the same thing as happy. Excitement, stimulation is bad for dogs. This is what gets dogs in trouble. Calmness is good for dogs. This is the way you meet a dog, is with calm, confident energy, and by not meeting the dog, by ignoring the dog. If the dog wants to meet you, if he likes your energy, likes the way you smell, he'll come sniff you. Then you can pet the dog. But that's the respectful way to meet a dog. So, yeah, the high-pitched voice is so annoying to people that understand dogs, because it's the worst thing you can do. And it's totally rude and disrespectful. Now, of course, these people don't realize that, because they think they're making the dog happy because, maybe he's wiggling or is getting stimulated or his tail's wagging. Most dog bites occur with the tail wagging. So, that doesn't mean anything. At least nothing positive. So, stay calm, talk to the human, focus your attention on the human, ignore the dog. Not only will you be meeting him in a respectful manner, but now the dog is going to respect you, because you're acting like an alpha, like a pack leader, like someone he can trust, someone he can respect. And this is why I could go into people's homes as a 19-year-old Collier Encyclopedia sales representative and take over control of their dog in 5 minutes that they had no control over after owning it for 5 years. That's simple. So, the correct way to meet a dog that doesn't know you is to not meet the dog. At least not the first 2 seconds. Have a little bit of patience, a little bit of discipline. Don't invade his space. Don't loom over him. Don't, think that you need to pet him. If a dog owner, understood any of this stuff, which, most of them don't. Most of them think that it's great for strangers to come up and pet their dogs. But if they understood it and they respected their own dog, they wouldn't allow it, because, it's not good for your dog. And by the way, my dog can handle it, because he's over socialized and he's met thousands of people, and I know he's not going to do anything, make any mistakes. But a lot of dogs aren't as confident as my dog. So this is what gets dogs in trouble. And then they, snap at somebody because they can't get away because they're on a leash. So they, end up biting somebody, and now the dog gets in trouble. So let's have respect for dogs. Let's have some knowledge about dogs as to how you should meet a dog. And that way, when you do meet a dog, it's going to be a much better meeting because the dog is going to like you.